From CBS News Bay Area, this is the Morning Edition.
Thank you so much for joining us this morning. It's Wednesday, September 6th.
Let's get started.
He was funny. And most of all, that he was so loved.
Parents sharing their stories of heartbreak in the opioid crisis. But now we could be seeing a step in the right direction in the fight against addiction.
We tried to help a few people. Some people's tires were completely covered in mud.
Cleaning up and heading home. The nightmare to get out from the Burning Man Festival.
I think on the other side of the coin is the positivity in the city.
Breathing new life into downtown San Francisco, a celebrity chef hopes to change the narrative.
I was like, wow, this is actually a decent amount of money right here.
A thrift store manager is being praised for his remarkable act of generosity. And is it time to panic? The Giants lose another one in ugly fashion, pushing them further out of the playoff spot. Happy Hump Day. We made it to Wednesday. Good morning to all of you. I'm Nicole Zalumis.
And I'm Gianna Franco. I'm putting a little good vibes out there for the Giants. It's not going well.
Yeah, and your words, ugly fashion, put me in check today. I'm checking my own fashion, and I'm seeing that we are with a very well-dressed weather authority, Jessica Birch. Good morning, my friend.
Always.
I think I'm not supposed to wear white after Labor Day or something, but I never really
Break the
cared much
rule.
about that. Anyways, let's take a live look outside this morning. We are off to a cloudy start in the city of San Francisco. You can barely make out the Salesforce Tower right now. We're off to a cool start too, 50s and 60s, widespread throughout the Bay Area. Before you head out the door this morning, grab a jacket with that coffee, but definitely grab the coffee too. That's just my piece of advice for this morning. We are halfway through the week, and the weather's been really mild for us. This is a live look from our Black Mountain Camp overlooking the stunning Santa Clara Valley. This morning, we're seeing just a little bit of that sun already starting to peek behind that mountain range. 60s in the forecast for us are expected today along the coast and the bay, but for our inland areas like the Santa Clara Valley, we're warming up into the 80s later into this afternoon. Notice how that's very similar to yesterday's forecast. San Jose, for example, we're highlighting stories all week long in your local community. We're warming up into the 80s later into this afternoon for our daytime highs, but still, we're off to a cool start this morning in the 50s and low 60s. We have some changes in the forecast for us later this week. Official sunrise this morning alone around 6:44. It's going to be a beautiful one for us since we can already see that skyline just in the Santa Clara Valley. Another thing I want to mention too, we're going to highlight this more coming up, but our drought monitor is still looking great for us, widespread throughout the state of California. More on that in a bit. For now, over to you, G.
All right, Jessica, thank you. Once you get that coffee, get going, especially if you're taking the Bay Bridge this morning. Good morning to you. For commuters coming out of the East Bay, heading into San Francisco, we are stacked up with those metering lights officially on, and that means that morning commute is underway. A busy ride as you work your way westbound, making your way over into San Francisco. It stays crowded across the upper deck as well. Things get a little bit busy at the San Mateo Bridge, also westbound as you work your way over towards 101. Nicole?
All right, Gianna, well, we are your community station, and every morning our focus is to bring you stories of people bouncing back and doing good where they live. Part of our Bounce Back coverage has highlighted sports teams in San Francisco and Oakland and what they're doing off the field to help strengthen the community. This week, we're in San Jose, where fans have plenty to root for. They have the Sharks, the Quakes, and the Giants minor league team. The Single-A San Jose Giants have seen over 200 players make it to the big leagues, but that's just a small part of what makes this team such a draw for locals. Sean Chitness is live at Excite Stadium to tell us more about what makes this hometown team so special. Sean, good morning to you once again, and a few special people also.
Nicole, good morning. Yeah, it's really cool what they are doing here with the team to make that stronger connection to the community. Wednesdays are We Care Wednesdays, where they try to make better connections with the nonprofits that are in the area. And we had the chance to meet one fan who has an amazing connection to this team. She was hosting several players because they weren't able to stay and live on their own while they were playing for the team.
I've been going to San Jose Giants games since I was very young.
Tiffany Fuentes is a lifelong fan of the San Jose Giants. The minor league experience in the South Bay makes for a convenient, affordable family outing that's a lot of fun.
I just think going to a local ballpark and having that hometown atmosphere, you're very close to the players.
And for almost a decade, her family was very close with some of the players in their own home. They were a host family, helping young athletes early in their professional baseball careers.
It's very rewarding knowing that we have been able to play a part in their lives and seeing how hard it is, what they go through to make it to the big leagues.
More than one went on to play for a major league team, including Adam Duvall, their first host son, who invited them to celebrate with his team when the Atlanta Braves won the World Series in 2021.
It was a great experience just to see how happy everybody was. We were able to take pictures with the trophy.
But for Tiffany and her family, it was never about the spotlight that came with their players' success. It was about the connection they created together while under one roof.
We've been to multiple weddings. Over the holiday season, we had 2 different host sons visit. Now many of them have kids, so they visit with their children, kind of like our host grandchildren.
And while the host family program has ended because players are now better able to find their own housing, Tiffany still catches as many games as she can, eager to cheer on her team and see where a new generation of players may end up next.
Just to see these young players. I mean, Buster Posey played at Municipal Stadium, so a lot of great players come from this field.
So altogether, Tiffany hosted 14 different players. What an amazing experience she had, and she clearly is a lifelong fan. Guys, back to you.
What a generous family. Thank you so much, Sean.
In Oakland this morning, Skyline High School, you are closed this morning following a shooting yesterday on campus. In fact, police got a call about gunshots yesterday around 11:30 a.m. Scary scene, students found barricaded in classrooms. Well, enter police. They had to search the entire campus, locking it down while they did that sweep. In the end, they found a gun and 4 people of interest in the case, 2 of them, by the way, arrested. Now, you see the parents here. Imagine being them, waiting some 2.5 hours when about that time on the clock, they were finally able to be reunited with their kids.
This is crazy. I don't feel safe at this school anymore.
When it went down, everybody was just running and they was telling us, you got to go on lockdown, stay in the classrooms.
I was scared for my life.
It was so freaking scary.
Police have not said what led up to the shooting, but you know who is talking? Oakland Superintendent of Schools calling for the end of violence immediately. They're also drilling down on protocols and response times to see how they can find fixes to the system. Well, another Bay Area freeway shooting to report, a community problem. This time it happened on 280 yesterday at the height of the afternoon rush hour. Here's kind of how it went down. Police say that somebody in a gray BMW fired shots hitting a man. He took bullets to the shoulder and the neck as he got on that southbound 280 in Burlingame. He's going to be okay, but so far, police have made no arrests. All right, so call your family in other states today, and you will likely hear this, the lead of the conversation. It's hot. A late season heat wave turning up the temps for more than 50 million Americans. In fact, triple-digit temps in some places mean school closures, early dismissals. In fact, we look to the Lone Star State where the power grid there has made headlines for failures in recent years. They are today warning of power outages. To fentanyl. In fact, she tells our Jocelyn Moran, Narcan on the shelves is a crucial move.
This is one of Colin's last school pictures when he was 16.
Liz Walker lost her son to an accidental fentanyl overdose in August of 2021. He had just started his senior year at Carlmont High School in Belmont.
And then this is what we sent out to everyone after, and I just think that smile is what so many people remember. The kid just came out smiling, and except for the last 1.5 years of his life.
Liz says the pandemic took a toll on him. He was dealing with anxiety and was depressed. Liz and her husband only knew he had been smoking weed. They didn't think he had been experimenting with other drugs.
He became addicted, and on August 29th, 2021, we found him, or my husband found him, face down in his room. And he had taken a really small amount of cocaine that was largely fentanyl, and he was gone.
Now Liz is working to spread awareness as much as she can so that no other family has to go through the pain they felt. But she also wants young people to understand the dangers out there.
And I hope that by spreading awareness, more young people will understand it's not worth the risk, and they're not getting what they're being sold.
And more awareness is being spread throughout San Mateo County.
Well, high schools in San Mateo County now have Narcan on hand, and some staff have been trained on how to use it.
A full-on training course that the nurses and coaches and all those who would be at the front line of maybe having to use it are trained.
Nancy McGee is the San Mateo County Superintendent of Schools. She says they're also spreading information to parents, and student leaders are participating in conversations. This is all part of it, but Liz Walker says mental health needs to be talked about too.
The mental health crisis has not gone away, and kids that are feeling that kind of pain and desperation are more likely to turn to illicit substances, which are very easy to get on Snapchat or Instagram or whatever social media.
She's sharing Colin's story to help others, but she also wants people to remember him for his kind heart.
He was funny, and most of all, that he was so loved. You know, I hope that his short life did have an impact in a way that, you know, we'll never fully know.
Because now others are hearing his story and can make decisions that in turn could save their lives.